During a video call with my boyfriend Ryan Carter. His roommates started teasing him to let them see me. I was smiling demurely when suddenly the phone was snatched away. A deep, amused voice rang out. "Don't be stingy. Let the boys see what our sis looks like." The next second, I found myself staring at John Wilson, my ex who'd parted ways with me in the ugliest breakup imaginable. The smile slowly drained from his face. After a long pause, he gritted out, "Fuck me." As he leaned forward, the star pendant on his silver chain grazed the camera lens. My breath caught when I fully registered those familiar features. Beads of sweat rolled down John's sharp jawline into his open basketball jersey. He stared at the screen for 2 heartbeats, pupils dilating violently before throwing the phone across the room. The screen went dark momentarily before Ryan retrieved it. Complaining. "What's your problem?" John scoffed after a beat. "Your taste's gone to shit." Even gentle Ryan lost his temper. "My girlfriend's amazing." "Shut your mouth." "Come on. Sis is smoking hot. Way prettier than the foreign languages department's first love. I'd eat instant noodles for 3 years to date someone like that." "Make it 10. Amid the rowdy banter, John stayed silent. Ryan lifted the phone apologetically. "Sorry, Ivy." He's salty about losing today's game. A furious voice shouted from off-screen, "I won by 20 points. Ryan didn't blink. "Must be brain damage then. I'll pick you up for dinner tonight, Ivy." After hanging up, I collapsed onto my bed. Summer sunlight stung my eyes through the arm I'd thrown over my face. 3 years since I'd last seen John Wilson. He still wore that cheap star necklace I'd gifted him, the $99 couple set I'd long since discarded. He looked the same yet different. That youthful arrogance now honed into dangerous edges. Like a cut gemstone. Memories flooded back to senior year of high school, John in his basketball jersey. Red-eyed and desperate outside my dorm. "I'll do anything you say. If you hate me talking to her, I'll cut all contact. We promised to attend the same college." His voice broke, moonlight catching the wetness in his eyes. "Just don't break up with me. Please?" He'd looked so broken, knees buckling, yet I'd coldly watched before whispering. "I changed my application. I'm not going to T University anymore." Our romance began with childhood friends losing to new sparks, and ended with new sparks crushed by old flames. When I transferred sophomore year as the new top student, teachers paired me with the class troublemaker John Wilson to provide positive influence. Instead of studying, John became fascinated with me tugging my hair, stealing pens while grinning down at me. "You're so tiny, Ivy." He passed doodles during class until we got caught. The teacher publicly displayed his crude drawing of me before sending us to hallway detention. Mortified, I shoved him. "You're insane." He silently folded the doodle into a paper star, slipping it into my palm. Against my will, I laughed. Gradually, I dragged John through homework sessions, forbade answer copying, forced him to actually learn. He would wait for me downstairs every day to walk to and from school together, browsing the jewelry store near our neighborhood. On impulse, I bought 2 star-shaped necklaces and gave him one. John was the school's golden boy, handsome, wealthy, athletic, with flocks of girls chasing after him. One of them cornered me to ask if I liked him. Teenage pride and inexplicable irritation made me snap. I'd never liked someone with worse grades than me. The girl suddenly looked past my shoulder. I turned to find John standing behind me, his face unreadable as he walked by without a word. After that, he stopped initiating conversations. We shared desks in silence, our daily walks abandoned. I wanted to explain, but he never gave me the chance. A year later, John matched my top scores. That evening he stopped me under blooming jacaranda trees, petals swirling around us like purple snow. "Ivy," he said solemnly, "my grades equal yours now. Can you like me?" The memories faded, but I'll never forget how his eyes shone brighter than supernovas in that moment. Starlight crossing galaxies to ignite my heartbeat. Okay. We became inseparable. John introduced me to all his friends as his girlfriend. Even got my name tattooed. When I mentioned aiming for Stanford, he vowed to follow. His mother rejoiced at his sudden academic drive. And since my grades stayed perfect, adults pretended not to see our romance. We were the school's only open couple. I truly believed we'd last forever. Until I discovered the girl who'd always mattered more. Em had grown up with him. Her father died saving Mr. Wilson from drowning years ago. The Wilsons took in Em and her mother, treating them like family. Even after we started dating, Em kept trailing us to school. We fought about it constantly. Just when she stopped shadowing us, she reappeared leaning against John. "Sorry, Miss Johnson." She simpered. "I know you hate this." But I twisted my ankle. John insisted on walking me home. His attention never left her as he scolded. "You'd hop home alone? Get on." That afternoon, John carried Em while she reminisced about their childhood and side jokes I couldn't share. "Johnny, it hurts," she whined. I'd never heard him so tender. "Where does it hurt, princess?" "Only the most expensive cake from that bakery will make it better. After I get you home." "Johnny, walk with me tomorrow? Those creepy guys keep staring when I'm alone." He frowned. "Why didn't you say sooner? I'll pick you up daily." Em glanced back at me, triumphant. The setting sun stretched their intertwined shadows ahead while I trailed behind. Not once did John look back. At her doorstep, he finally turned. "Need to get Em's cake. You'll manage alone. Go home by yourself, Ivy." I stared at him for a long moment before turning away. After that incident, John and I entered a week-long Cold War. John initially didn't see his mistake. I've always treated Em like a little sister. How could I ignore her when she's injured? I kept my expression blank. She could have called her mother. Or your family driver. Why did it have to be you? You think of her as a sister. But does she see you as just a brother? Don't pretend you don't know she has feelings for you. He averted his gaze before sighing and pulling me into a hug. "Ivy, you're the only one I want. I'll make things clear with her and keep my distance. Okay?" I closed my eyes briefly. "Fine." True to his word, John confronted Emily later. Whatever he said made her run out of the classroom crying, and she stopped approaching him afterward. I thought the matter was settled until John approached me weeks later with a troubled expression. "Emily says some guy from another school keeps harassing her. He's gathering her friends tonight and she wants me to pretend to be her boyfriend to scare him off." He studied my face before adding, "Just one night. Enough to make him back off. First she needed you to carry her home. Now this? What's next?" My voice rose. John, usually quick-tempered, maintained his patient tone with me. "Her father died saving mine. She deserves protection. Just this once, you can come too if you're worried." Knowing further arguments were futile, I agreed. "One night. I'm going with you." He grinned, kissing me. "You're the best, babe. Love you most." The bar that night pulsed with bass. Emily stood surrounded by a muscular guy with greasy charm trying to sling an arm around her. John immediately shoved him away, pulling Emily protectively against him. "Hands off. She's mine." His MMA-trained stance and icy glare froze the guy mid-retort. Friends hurried to diffuse tension. "Let's play truth or dare." Tension's buying drinks. "Go wild." Tension, real name Zhongli, was the persistent suitor. Rumor said his mob-connected family extorted protection money from every business on the street. He'd met Emily through mutual friends and became obsessed after she rejected him repeatedly. John snorted, slapping a Centurion black card on the table. "My treat." Gasps erupted. A girl squealed. "Is that the legendary black card? Emily, you kept this Prince Charming secret." Emily preened against John's shoulder. My fists clenched. He glanced at me guiltily. But I turned away. Zhang-Li's face darkened. His buddy's girlfriend quickly spun an empty bottle. Whoever it points to gets chosen. Initial rounds stayed tame, truths about embarrassing childhood stories and harmless dares. I started relaxing, until the bottle landed on Emily. I choose dare, she said sweetly, tucking hair behind her ear. My stomach dropped. The girl beside her squealed with malicious glee, then pick a guy here to kiss. A French kiss. Em blushed. Her gaze landing on John. John's expression stiffened as he instinctively frowned. I choose, as Zhang-Li's face darkened. Em pointed decisively at John. John's face hardened. Change the dare. The girl who'd proposed the challenge smirked. Aren't you two dating? What's the big deal? Kiss him already. The room erupted in cheers. Zhang-Li eyed them suspiciously. You're really Em's boyfriend? Of course. Em smiled faintly, clinging to John's forearm with pleading eyes. John. My heart chilled as John remained rigid under Em's approach. Just before their lips met, I shot up from my seat. His head turned slightly, Em's kiss grazing his jawline instead. Wait! John grabbed my wrist as I tried to leave. I wrenched free, storming out to the alley where he caught up. She didn't actually kiss me. He panted. Ivy. Please. Enough. I whirled on him. We're together. Why can't you set boundaries? If you still want her, just say it. Footsteps interrupted us. Em appeared with Zhang-Li and his crew brandishing weapons. He's not your boyfriend. Zhang-Li sneered. Playing games with me. Em? Tearfully. Em hid behind John. He's lying. John. John shielded her effortlessly despite Zhang-Li's height advantage. She rejected you. Take the hint. Then why'd she keep meeting me? Zhang-Li countered. Stringing me along while chasing you. Smooth move. Em. My stomach dropped when Zhang-Li gestured between Em and me. Choose one to save. I'll entertain the other. Em clutched John's sleeve. You can't abandon me. My father. Shut up. John snapped before turning coldly to Zhang-Li. You're taking neither. The first pipe swung. John's had flared as he disarmed Zhang-Li with a wrist crack that drew screams. But numbers overwhelmed him, steel kissed his ribs. Blades shredded his hoodie. Spitting blood. He fought like a caged wolf. Through the chaos, our eyes met. In that heartbeat, I finally understood this battlefield held his answer clearer than any choice. Just as both sides were at a standoff, Zhang-Li suddenly shifted his focus to me. He lunged at me with a switchblade. John's face drained of color as he tried to shield me. But Em abruptly wrapped her arms around him from behind. John. I'm scared. The world seemed to freeze in the next instant. Warm wetness spread across my abdomen. It took several seconds for the pain to register. John went berserk charging toward me. Zhang-Li. After all just a student. Panicked when things turned serious and fled with his gang. When Em tried blocking John again, he shoved her away violently. She crashed into a trash can with a pained cry. But John didn't even glance at her. His trembling hands hovered over me, too afraid to touch. His face looked ghostly pale. Ivy. Before losing consciousness, one thought crystallized: love hurts. Had I known, I'd never have gotten involved with John. The good news? I survived. The bad? The knife had pierced my kidney. After an all-night emergency surgery, I spent a month hospitalized. My parents alternated between heartbroken and furious. Mom tore into John. I tolerated your relationship because your grades stayed decent. Had I known about your family drama, her voice broke. We're not rich. But we've always protected our girl. The doctors said 10 minutes later and she'd have. John kept his head bowed. I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson. This is all my fault. Stay away from my daughter. Mom ordered. No visits. No contact. John clenched his fists. Blame me however you want. But let me tutor her, college entrance exams are coming. The magic words made Mom reluctantly agree. Our relationship entered limbo. I couldn't forgive him. Though he hadn't stabbed me. His decision to pretend being M's boyfriend caused this mess. Later I learned M never rejected Zhongli, she'd been stringing him along. The whole fake boyfriend scheme and that girl demanding they French kiss? All her orchestrated drama. John cut ties with M after their explosive fight. He showed up daily with study notes. Weathering Mom's coldness and my indifference. Watching the proudest guy in school humble himself wore down my resolve. But doubts lingered. While I'd wanted to attend T University with John, S University had the superior finance program. Should I compromise my future for him? Come exam season. John's tutoring paid off, I scored second highest in the city. John, however, collapsed from stress during testing. His grades dipped enough to still make T University, but not his preferred major. During his recovery, he texted frowny face Ivy. Can we still go to T together? I decided to visit his home. Maybe we deserved another chance. College could be our fresh start away from M. Mrs. Wilson greeted me warmly, laden with shopping bags. John's told us so much. You two living in our T University villas would be perfect. Mr. Wilson glowered silently. The tension thickened as John entered, pale but smiling. Before I could speak, his father suddenly slammed his palm on the table. Enough. You think we'd let our son throw away his future for some Johnson girl? The room froze. Mrs. Wilson's shopping bags hit the floor with a rustle. The absurdity. That would practically be premarital cohabitation. How could you indulge the children's recklessness? I turned to his mother, Mrs. Wilson. I'd like to check on John. She smiled warmly. Go ahead, dear. He'll be thrilled to see you. I bounded upstairs and pushed open John's bedroom door. My words died in my throat. There he lay face down on gray silk sheets, bare-backed, his adolescent muscles glistening like liquid amber in the sunlight. Behind him, M rose from the bed in a scandalously short camisole, the straps slipping to reveal budding cleavage. Surprise. Ivy, what brings you here? She chirped. John stirred, his sleep-weary eyes lighting up at the sight of me until Emily's voice registered. The color drained from his face as he whiplashed his head between us. I fled. That night, he stood vigil in the downpour outside my house. Texts flooded my phone, pleas for a chance to explain. Even my soft-hearted mother relented. He just recovered from pneumonia. At least hear him out. I found him trembling under my umbrella, rainwater streaming down his sharp jawline. Ivy. I swear I didn't invite her. The medication knocked me out. After your hospital scare last month, I told him everything, that she's just like a sister. That I'm committed to you. I believe you. I cut in. His hopeful grin faded when he saw my expression. But I'm exhausted. John. This isn't just about us. Our families are intertwined. Your father clearly favors M. Even if you resist now. How long before the pressure breaks us? Her constant appearances. Your endless explanations. My perpetual forgiveness. My throat tightened. Let's stop this agony. His grip on my wrist turned desperate. We promised to attend T University together. Give me one more. I applied to S University instead. The umbrella handle slipped into his rain-slick palm. Goodbye, John. He remained rooted like a soaked stray dog, clinging to the memory of belonging. We never crossed paths again, until today. Shaking off the memory, I focus on my current reality. Ree waits at our cafeteria table until John materializes beside us. That damn silver star pendant gleaming against his black hoodie. I frowned. Can you move over? John snorted. What? Did your family build this cafeteria? I'll sit wherever I want. Ryan, unaware of our history, tried to mediate. Ivy, don't take it personally. John's all bark but decent at heart. He's here for a year from T University exchange program. Oh, aren't you both from the same hometown? Our eyes met. He rolled his eyes while I looked away. Ryan kept filling the awkward silence with stories about our chubby senior we nicknamed Cow. He's ballooned since we last fed him. Though born into wealth like John, Ryan carried himself with genuine grace and emotional maturity. We bonded as co-presidents of the debate club sophomore year, our shared interests sparking endless conversations. When he confessed his feelings, I said yes without hesitation. First loves leave marks. But life isn't fiction, hearts change as we grow. Seriously, let's neuter that tomcat soon. He's been harassing every female in the alley. I joked. John scoffed. Ignoring him, Ryan fed me cake from his fork. Your favorite bakery's new. John slammed the table. My bite tumbled to the floor. What's your problem today? Ryan snapped. Oops. John smirked. The tension became unbearable, pushing my half-eaten meal away. I stood. Ryan reached out, but John instinctively grabbed my tray, shoveling leftovers into his mouth. You always, Ryan froze mid-sentence. My throat tightened. This was our old routine, teenage John devouring my leftovers. Too lazy to refill his own plate. He'd never complained. Not even when I'd nibbled corn kernels one by one. That he remembered. John stiffened. Head bowed. After suffocating silence, he stormed out. Later, an unknown number texted, "Your taste in men still sucks." That night, I confessed everything to Ryan. He was my friend. Now he wants my girl? Ryan's jaw tightened, though his voice stayed gentle. It's over. I'll minimize contact. Yet during our shared lecture next week, John plopped down beside me. With no other seats, Ryan took my right side. Sweat trickled down my spine as class began. For 40 minutes, John behaved. Then a folded note slid under my textbook. Ignoring it only made him smirk harder. When Ryan looked away, I unfolded the paper. The crude sketch depicted me identical to the drawings from when we were 17. My fist crumpled the memory. John's smile died as he retrieved the balled-up paper, fingers tracing invisible lines. A crumpled paper star appeared before me. Ryan suddenly turned around, raising an eyebrow. What's this? Just trash. I picked up the star, linking arms with Ree as the bell rang and tossing it into the trash. I'm not 17 anymore, no longer moved by handwritten notes or paper stars. John trailed behind us to the cafeteria. Ree finally snapped. Why are you following us to dinner? John shrugged. Same path. Since when is walking public property a crime? On impulse, I made Ree carry me piggyback. Though confused, he complied. We laughed our way down the path while John's expression darkened behind us. I wondered if he remembered how I'd once been the one watching from that position. That night, Ree lingered outside my dorm. 5 more minutes. The 6'3" athlete whined, nearly knocking me over with his clumsy embrace before steadying me like nothing happened. His question came abruptly. Do you think I'm better or John? Every nerve went alert, the dreaded X comparison. I couldn't counter-question. Ree had no X's. I was his first. You. Obviously. His eyes narrowed. Did you love him more then? Or love me more now? I hesitated. Ree made me happy, we were soulmates. But teenage love had burned pure too. That split-second pause made Ree scowl. Rising on tiptoes, I tried kissing him. All right. I love you more. He kept hands in pockets, refusing to bend. I grabbed his collar angrily. Ree, stop being difficult. His laughter rumbled before he finally kissed me. Wind rustled the camphor trees as his cool lips met mine. Lemon sea salt cologne swirling in July's breeze. When I gasped for air, he cradled my head, deepening the kiss until I shoved him away breathlessly. "Done?" he murmured. Before I could answer, his mouth captured mine again, teeth grazing my lower lip. "So, do you still like him?" I pushed back, exasperated. "That's ancient history." Ree's gaze shifted behind me, smirking at whatever he saw over my shoulder. I turned to follow his gaze. Under the massive camphor tree stood John in a black hoodie, watching us with fists clenched so tightly his knuckles whitened. I couldn't tell how long he'd been standing there. Just as I thought he might approach, he spun around and stalked away with long, almost panicked strides. I never expected to see M again. After our college entrance exams, I went to S University while John attended T University. M, with her mediocre grades, had enrolled at some third-rate college near TU just to be close to him. Rumor was John's father had tried forcing them into an arranged engagement, but John flat out refused, causing such a huge family blowout that he didn't speak to his father for 2 years. His mom nearly divorced his dad over the whole mess until Mr. Wilson finally backed down. Years later, I assumed our paths would never cross again. But there she was during our club gathering. I was waiting outside campus for Ree to finish class when a yellow Lamborghini Urus pulled up beside me. The window slid down to reveal John's stupidly handsome face. "Heading to the meetup? Get in. How'd you even know about this?" I demanded, eyeing him warily. "You're not in our club." He flashed his phone screen showing an approval notification. "Applied last week." Problem? Irritation prickled my skin. We'd agreed to this clean breakup years ago. Why was he suddenly acting like some lingering ex? "Ivy." He grabbed my wrist with bruising force when I tried walking away. "We need to talk." "Let go." I wrenched free. "You made this mess yourself with all that ambiguous crap with M. Don't you dare blame me for walking away." His laugh came out jagged. "You moved on so fast. Got yourself a shiny new boyfriend while I—" "Stop it!" My voice cracked. "How many chances did I give you? You kept choosing her over us. Over me." The color drained from his face. Before he could respond, M materialized beside us dragging a suitcase. Her pretty features twisted into something venomous. "So this is why he rejected our engagement." She spat, lunging at me. "You just couldn't stay away from him. Could you?" She completely shed her former gentle and sweet facade, raising her hand to hit me. "Ivy, are you that desperate? Is John the only man in the world? Can't you just leave him alone?" Before I could react, John grabbed her wrist. I seized the chance to slap her across the face. First, I have zero interest in John. Second, even if we were involved, he's not your property. He's already told you he doesn't like you. Yet you keep harassing him. Tell me who's the desperate one here? How dare you hit me? M tried to lunge at me like a madwoman, but John shoved her away violently, sending her sprawling to the ground. "Enough!" he snapped. "Didn't I tell you to stop coming around? Why are you here again? John, you're choosing her over me?" M looked shattered. "My father saved your dad's life. Without him, my father's debts are his own to repay." John's control finally snapped. "I've babysat you for years. Did you expect me to sacrifice my entire life for that?" M stared at him as if seeing a stranger. After a long moment, she spat out, "You'll regret this, John." Before fleeing, unease prickled my spine. Given M's obsession, I knew this wouldn't end well. Sure enough, shouts soon erupted, someone's threatening to jump from the residential building. When I arrived, John was already there. On the 6th floor rooftop, M's white dress billowed dramatically. her carefully composed mask barely containing the madness beneath. "Stop this nonsense," John barked, climbing up. "What do you want?" "What do I want?" M's whisper carried on the wind. "I want you to love me. We used to be so close, John. You protected me when kids mocked me for being fatherless. You promised to marry me. When did everything change?" "Childhood fantasies." John raked a hand through his hair. "Should I still want to be an astronaut too?" It all changed when Ivy appeared. Her venomous gaze found me in the crowd below. "Ivy, why did you have to exist? I've loved him for decades. Without you, we..." Ree materialized beside me, wrapping his jacket around my shaking shoulders. "You're dying because you're an idiot who built her entire existence around a man," he called up, drawing gasps from onlookers. "And because John's an idiot who failed to set boundaries. But mostly because you're an idiot. If you're determined to die, do it somewhere that won't traumatize my girlfriend." "Enough," John roared. "Even without Ivy, I'd never choose you. I've only ever seen you as a sister." "Then watch me die." M's smile turned unhinged. "Marry me today, or I jump." The crowd held its breath. For years, John had capitulated to her dramatics. But this time, he said flatly, "Then jump." M froze. "Out of everyone in this world," John continued, words tumbling out like loosened floodgates, "you're the last person I could ever be with." "Why?" Her scream cracked. "I love you more than anyone. I've given you everything." John met her gaze unflinchingly. "Because you destroyed my one chance at happiness. Because of you, she left me." The next second, while M was having her breakdown, a firefighter who had quietly approached grabbed her and dragged her away from the rooftop. M kept screaming through her tears, "John! John!" But John simply stood motionless on the edge, never glancing back. Through the howling wind, our eyes met. For that fleeting moment, his features seemed to blur. I saw the boy from 3 years ago grinning at me with starlit eyes. "Ivy, my grades finally caught up to yours. Will you give me a chance now?" Then the memory shattered like dried leaves scattering in the wind. We both knew some things could never be reclaimed. When the year-long exchange program ended, John returned to his university thousands of miles away. He left without a word. That night, I received a text from an unknown number. Frowny face, "I'm sorry." I stared at this apology delayed by 3 years, then deleted it without responding. Years later, John reappeared at my wedding to Ree. We'd both graduated 3 years prior. Ree had taken over his family business while I'd built my legal career. Marriage felt like the natural next step. M never succeeded in her dramatic exits. Last I heard, she'd been institutionalized by the Wilson family after attempting to stab John in some twisted lover's suicide pact. As for John, he'd rejected his father's corporation, made a fortune on Wall Street, then launched his own wildly successful investment firm. The tabloids loved his eternal bachelor persona. We'd all assumed he'd stay overseas permanently. When I spotted John among the groomsmen, I immediately turned to Ree. My fiancé squeezed my hand. Smirking, he begged for weeks and sent an obscenely large red envelope. What kind of saint would say no? I suspected Ree just wanted to flaunt his victory. Throughout the ceremony, I braced for chaos. Yet John played his role perfectly, stoic but cooperative. Our only contact came during photos when he steadied me after I tripped on my veil. "Careful," he murmured, adjusting the train. We didn't speak again. Relief settled over me until I encountered him smoking in the hallway during the reception. His tuxedo jacket hung over one shoulder. White dress shirt sleeves rolled up. "Shouldn't you be with the wedding party?" I asked politely. "Not hungry." I moved to pass him when he spoke again. "Know why I became a groomsman?" Turning back, I raised an eyebrow. He crushed his cigarette against a trash can. Smile brittle. "Never mind." checking his watch. He shrugged on the jacket. Tell Ree I'm leaving for the airport. Got an investment project waiting. Flew back just for this? Wouldn't miss it. He walked away without looking back. Hand raised in farewell against the glittering hotel lights. Goodbye. I watched his retreating figure and whispered softly. Goodbye. Goodbye, John. That evening, nearly all the groomsmen and bridesmaids posted wedding blessings along with group photos of us. In every picture, everyone smiled at the camera except John, who tilted his head slightly, his gaze seeming to linger on me. Around his neck hung the star necklace I'd given him 8 years ago. I knew my name remained tattooed over his heart. J.W. Suddenly I remembered that distant day when we'd passed a bridal shop displaying enormous wedding portraits. John had gripped my hand, flashing his bright smile as he declared, Ivy, someday we'll be in one of those pictures too. Now I stared at our final photograph together. So this was why he'd insisted on being a groomsman. After all these years, we'd finally appeared in the same framed portrait, yet nothing could be further from what we'd promised. Warm arms encircled me from behind as Ryan murmured impatiently in my ear. What's so interesting? Tonight's our wedding night. I locked my phone and turned to embrace him. Nothing important. The past belonged where it was. 25-year-old Ivy needed to bid farewell to 17-year-old John for good.